Hey everybody, welcome to Sweetcast. This is a video that has been, I don't know, probably too late, but I'm going to do it anyway. I should have made this video at the beginning of the weekend, but I've had a lot going on. So here we are. You know, you're watching this on Monday, and we need to recap because this weekend has been a very, very bad weekend for a select number of people. Many of them are tagged up here on this article or this post on Twitter, and for others it has been a fantastic weekend. And really this boils down to one thing, and that is a guy named Richard Meyer, also known as your boy Zach, who has a YouTube channel and an opinion, and he is officially publishing The Expendables in a comic book version. That is right. And heads are exploding, but at the end of the day, he is already, this is an extremely successful campaign, especially for launching on like a Saturday. It's like the worst possible time to launch a campaign. I think it's hilarious. It does not matter. He is a juggernaut. He will be successful at any cost. Like nothing else is going to get in the way. He's going to have very strong and successful campaigns. This one is already starting off on a great foot. All right, so I got to give you some context here. To me, there have been two announcements that came out this weekend. One, I would say, is more on the right in comics. Everything's political now. And one is more on the left. On the left, you have Eric Esquivel and I forget his partner's name, Eddie something or whatever. And they started a new publishing company together. They were both canceled because of sexual misconduct. You know, usually I'm very skeptical about these kinds of things, but they've been verified and corroborated by other people, including Eric Esquivel himself on Twitter corroborated the allegations that were pointed against him. I don't want to get into those details because, you know, that's not very fun, but that made a lot of people upset that you were canceled. You know, not criminal charges, as far as I know, no criminal charges have been filed, but you're not working in the industry ever again. The thing is, you still can make your own thing. It doesn't matter if you have other people's approval. You can still do your own thing. I don't know how successful they're going to be. I have no interest in anything that they're making, but you know, whatever, they have the right to do it. On the other side of the aisle, so to speak, you have Richard Meyer, who is really has been canceled, not from the comic book industry. Let's face it, he never had a chance in the comic book industry for many reasons, and he found it very difficult. But once you have a YouTube channel and you start sharing your opinion and you find that there are a lot of like-minded people that also agree with much of your opinion, new opportunities open up. And so his crimes essentially boil down to having an opinion and sharing his opinion, and at the worst, saying some mean things. That is it. Those are the big things that are weighing on your boy Zach. That was enough for people to try and cancel him, but it doesn't matter. I love this. I'm so excited about the idea of like not allowing, you know, if people say that you will never work in comics because X, Y, and Z, you know, not legitimate reasons, it's not up to them to decide. It is up to you. But if you fall into the trap of saying, I can't do these things because people say I can't, then really you're blacklisting yourself. So I really love that he's taking this step. I don't think that in the big picture it's really necessary, but it sure does feel good. All right, so here's some, you know, just rando on Twitter. Don't contact anybody, by the way. I'm not even contacting any of them. We're just talking about stuff that is posted on a public forum, but I'm not interested in harassing anybody. All right, so Rando on Twitter says, so apparently Richard Meyer is putting together an IGG campaign for Stallone and for the Expendables, and Richard is supposedly drawing a cover. Oh no, all caps, drawing a cover. Can you imagine? Well, let me show you this. This is going to melt some minds. Here is his campaign right now, and at the moment of this recording, this is no joke. He has 666 backers, and this is called the Expendables Go to Hell graphic novel. So I'm just saying, I don't know how he worked that out, but all right, so not only is your boy Zach doing a cover, his cover is outselling, I think, any other version of the book. 165 claims so far, maybe Kelsey. Okay, so Kelsey Shannon, this is the featured perk, 262. I think the fact that it's up top, it's the featured perk, might have something to do with it. I believe this is Kelsey Shannon's. Yes, Kelsey Shannon's pinup. He does fantastic work. He did a cover for Downcast actually as well. So yeah, there you go. And his book is selling well. Not only that, but it sold the original art for $3,000. and the art is not even finished. This says a lot. The funny thing is, because I know there's a lot of comic book artists that would die to sell one piece for $3,000. I can't even imagine how many people would want it. But the thing is, I'm just so excited for him, and I know a lot of people are. Ultimately, this is what it comes down to. I think that he's going to be successful if he did, another Jawbreakers book, if he did some kind of new title. There's a number of things he could do and be very successful at it. I don't think he needed to do the Expendables, but the thing is, I think at least, I'm going to make some assumptions here. So, Zach, correct me if I'm wrong. I think he wanted to do the Expendables. That's all it comes down to. It's something he wanted to do. Is he going to make more money from the Expendables than he would otherwise doing Jawbreakers or some other title that he owns? I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe, probably, based off of his tiers and some of the things I'm looking at here. But I think it doesn't really have as much to do with that. It's more that if you can get IP and you want to sort of build your credibility in the broader spectrum of things, if you want to have some titles that have your name attached to them, pre-existing titles, like the Expendables, he can always say he was the publisher, he was a writer on the Expendables Go to Hell graphic novel. There's something to that. There's something like a sense of pride that you get out of that. It also possibly opens up the door to other opportunities where, maybe he wants to do some existing superhero titles, or there's any number of other kinds of titles that he might want to write. He doesn't have to. He can do his own version for sure. He could do that, but who's to stop him? Who's to tell him no? All right. Now, I don't really communicate with Zach all that much. I've emailed him back and forth probably a few times, and he's very sparing with his words, which is cool. That's totally Zach. So I'm going to just fill in some speculation here, but I'm guessing that this campaign has been put together to earn $1 million. That is my guess. I have no idea. He's never said this to me, and as far as I know, he's never said it publicly. I think that he's really put this campaign together so that it is set up to achieve $1 million goal. The reason being is that he has several different variant covers here. He's got 5 variant covers, and I'm going to reiterate my personal opinion on variant covers. I think variant covers are great. The only time I have a problem with variant covers are when you're forcing people to buy multiple copies that you do not want to buy, or are basically exploiting comic book shops to buy extra copies in order to get these special chase variant covers. In this case, you can just pick which cover you want. You can pick all of them, mix and match, or whatever you want to do, and the price it doesn't matter. None of it's going to change. But the fact that he has 5 variant covers, that allows him to give people, especially collectors, more options to buy in. I'm guessing that this is going to be it's set up to be $1 million campaign. Now, I would love to interview. I'd be really curious. I don't know how much he can say. I'm really curious to know how he got this deal in the works. I've heard a little bit, and I know that Chuck Dixon knows Sylvester Stallone, and they've done some work. That's about all I know. And I've heard some rumors, but I just don't know. And so I'm really curious how he got this deal worked out. I'm guessing that it really needs to do well for him. I'm sure that he's pretty confident it's going to do well. Otherwise, why would you launch it on a Saturday evening and then just move on with your weekend and let it go? So great. Anyway, I hope that this campaign does really, really well for him. I think it'll be up for a little while. Right now, it's at 45,000 at the time of recording this. I will not be surprised if it passes over 50K relatively soon. And I think this is going to have a lot of staying power. I also hope that Sylvester Stallone might get in on the action of promoting this somehow. I really think that crowdfunding is an entirely different animal. And so, a lot of people don't even have it figured out. Here's the thing, though. I did see in this thread of pointing and mocking or head exploding, there was somebody, let me see. Here we go.
Why does Stallone need a crowdfund to publish a comic? He's got money and connections. This reeks a little off.
People don't understand crowdfunding. Crowdfunding does a lot of things for you. It's a really great sales tool. There's a lot that crowdfunding offers that are regular. Like if you just wanted to publish a book and make it a vanity project And well, now the book exists. You could do that. You could spend money, but that's not the point. The point is to make sales to readers, to people that are actually going to get the book and presumably read the book. A little off on a tangent, but I'm wondering, what other properties does Sylvester Stallone own? I have no idea. It gives me hope. I had somebody ask me the other day in a private message if I would be trying to get a licensed property to do, stories in that world. And I will tell you, no. I think, at least, not anytime soon. I think it'd be really, really fun. There are a few different titles that I would want to do that, making a knockoff of my own thing isn't really something I'm interested in. There are a few titles I would do, but most other titles wouldn't be worth it to me. I'm not sure all the back end, deals that you'd have to go through and how much it would cost you and the benefit you'd get. You'd really have to sell a ton of books, which obviously your boy Zach can do. He's already demonstrated that time and time again that he can do it. But for me, I don't think I can get quite the reach. I'm not going to say that it'll matter all that much, but it does give me hope that I'd like to see more of this kind of thing happening, if for no other reason than to possibly target different markets that might not be super interested in reading comics in the first place. I think of even the Earthworm Jim comic that was so successful on Indiegogo. I'm guessing that a lot of the people that bought that book might not be super into comics, but they were really into the title of Earthworm Jim. So for them, it was a fun thing they wanted to get into. Something like the Expendables, you might actually get a new market. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. Regardless, it doesn't really matter all that much, because if it's something he wanted to do, he's going to do it. And, angry people on Twitter are just going to keep being angry on Twitter. So thanks very much. I appreciate you watching this video. Let me know if you backed the Expendables Go to Hell, and some of your thoughts on how the campaign will do. What are the final numbers going to rest at? I'm really interested to see. And if you have not backed my campaign, Downcast Rise and Fall, we're about a third into the campaign. We're at $22,381 and growing. So thanks very much. Really appreciate it. You can back it in the link in the description below. See you next time. Bye.